Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you would never ask. It's Friday, February the 18th. Today is National Battery Day, so it's a good day to get charged up about batteries.
Oh, my goodness.
Check your smoke detectors, too, and it's a good time to do that. National Crab Stuffed Flounder Day today. A whole lot going on there. National Drink Wine Day. I know someone...
I will always celebrate Drink Wine Day.
No One Eats Alone Day. I like this.
That is, I do too.
There have been numerous times we'll be somewhere and there's somebody by themselves and Heidi will say, "Can we sit with you? Would you mind if we sit over here?" And usually they go, "Would you just leave me alone?"
I invite them to sit with us. I don't say, "Can I sit with you?" That's
I don't want to make this weird, but can I finish your fries?
Yeah, that's creepy.
Also, National Caregivers Day today. In addition to all that, we have all this. I've got Harold Perrineau joining me from Lost, from Oz, a whole bunch of other cool stuff. He's got a new program out right now. It's called From. We'll chat all about that in a bit.
At BetterCreditCards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at BetterCreditCards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. According to an MSN poll, 93% of us would rather have bright green hair that you cannot dye, and only 7% would rather have a large face tattoo. So they can ask, would you rather this? 5% would rather always have to lie, and 95% would rather always have to tell the truth.
Ooh.
Also, would you rather travel to the moon? 45% said yes. 55% said I'd rather travel to the bottom of the ocean. Next, would you rather eat? 40% said a pound of raw bacon. 60% a dozen raw jalapenos. And the last one on here, would you rather live? 45% said in a glass house. 55% said in an underground bunker. So I'm going to ask Heidi now. Of those, would you rather have bright green hair that you cannot dye or a large face tattoo?
Probably the bright green hair because you can, well, face tattoo you can cover with makeup.
I don't know. Would you rather live on the moon or at the bottom of the ocean?
Probably on the moon.
All right. Would you rather always lie or always tell the truth?
Always lie.
How do I know I can believe you now? Would you rather eat a pound of raw bacon or a dozen raw jalapenos?
Oh gosh. Probably the raw bacon.
All right. And glass house or underground bunker? Glass house.
Glass house, for sure.
I already knew that one. Thanks for listening. It's surveys and studies and such. You can play the game too. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GMDvacations.com. Heidi, did you know a team of French physicists announced that they blew a bubble that lasted 465 days before popping?
Really?
Yeah, a team who apparently had nothing better to do. Their findings were published in the Physical Review Fluids journal, said that they were doing some research into soap bubbles. They found they tend to pop after a few moments due to gravity-induced drainage or evaporation of the liquid. So what they worked on, they studied the typical fragile and ethereal soap bubbles and gas marbles, a type of bubble made from liquid solution that contains plastic beads. They worked on this. Again, I'm not exactly sure why, but they did have the opportunity to blow a gas marble bubble containing glycerol, and it lasted 465 days before bursting. What are we going to do with that knowledge? I don't know. Researchers said the long bubbles created during their project could be used to create stable foams. So that's what it's for. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Actress Kristen Bell recently shared that her hubby, Dax Shepard, suffered through 50 hours of hiccups. You ever have anything like that?
No.
My dad did
Thankfully,
when I was a little
that
boy.
would be awful.
Read an article, by the way, that says if you have hiccups, you're supposed to massage your earlobes. So just rub your earlobes, and that's going to, whether it helps with the hiccups, it'll at least make people quit talking about the hiccups. What's he doing with his ears? I have no idea. Valerie Bertinelli is learning to, I think I said her name wrong. Valerie Bertinelli is learning to ignore her inner critic. Her journey to self-acceptance inspired a new book, Enough Already, Learning to Love the Way I Am Today. It's available now. I've got a link to it. The collection of essays give insight into her self-doubt and her relationship with Eddie Van Halen and the troubles that plagued her second marriage. The actress and Food Network star also documents her preoccupation with her size. At age 13, she started weighing herself twice a day. Wow.
Yeah, that's
She started dieting when she was just 15. And then she was on a program one day at a time when that premiered. Then it was like super focused on that. I've got a link to the new book. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. They'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Female correspondent for Men's Health magazine said the top 3 things women want to hear from a man are these. Tell me if this is right. I can't wait to see you.
Oh, yeah, that's sweet.
I love waking up next to you.
Okay, yeah, that's a good
And
one.
I brought you something.
I love that one.
Are those 3?
Yeah,
How
those
about,
are all good.
I made you breakfast. Do you want it in bed or do you want to come join me? That's my favorite thing to say to you.
Yeah, and
she
I'm not
usually
much of a
says,
breakfast person.
Leave me alone. I'm trying to sleep. I'm like,
sleeping.
tell you what, I'll just eat both breakfasts and get out of here. And then I do.
And then you do.
Hey, where's that breakfast? I ate that 4 hours ago. Oh, okay. Getting your much-needed exercise is not complicated. All you need is 10 minutes. That's 10 minutes, and a set of stairs. According to this study, Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise, that's who did the study, 31 sedentary young women were put into a training program where they were asked to do several variations of 10-minute exercises 3 times a week over 6 weeks. The winner was walking up and down stairs for 10 minutes, just 3 times a week.
Wow.
So 10 minutes
10
walking
minutes,
up
3
and down.
times a week.
Yeah, 10 minutes, 3
That's
times a week.
doable.
Yeah, so it's something to think about. And hoping to shed a few pounds. Oh my goodness, it's almost like they're reading over my shoulder here. If you are, you might think it's a good idea to get your friends on board to bolster your social support and increase the odds that you'll stick to your goal.
We've talked about that.
According to a study, you're better to keep the weight off on your own. More than 75% of respondents said they never or rarely felt supported by family and friends when they were trying to lose weight. In fact, researchers found that participants who didn't receive support from friends were most likely to shed the pounds. 26% of participants found it annoying when their friends went on diets. So they're going, hey, your friends don't care. If you care, that's all that matters. You can read it without all the stutters in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Aloha! Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDvacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from GMDvacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at GMDvacations.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Our guest today is Harold Perrineau. You might know him from some programs that have been on TV that were super popular, like Lost and Oz. And to continue his tradition of programs that people love that also have one-word titles, he's got a new series out called From, and it's available starting this weekend. We've got him on the line right now to talk all about it. Harold, how are you, sir?
I'm well, Don. How are you today?
I am fantastic. Let's talk about this new project, From. When can people watch this, and where can we find it as well?
All right. So let's get to where and all that. From is a show on ethics. We are premiering this weekend, Sunday, February 20th. I think it comes on at 9 o'clock, wherever you are, Pacific, Eastern, whatever time zone. I think it comes on at 9 o'clock on Epix. You can see it on Epix now. And From is a show about a group of people who are who've been lured to a town, a small little town, and they are trapped there. And when the sun goes down, they are being hunted by monsters in the woods that surround them. And I play the sheriff of this town, Sheriff Boyd Stevens, and I'm tasked with trying to keep everybody safe as we try to figure our way out of this town.
So, Harold, I've got a dumb question. Based on that, this is probably not based on a true story, is it?
I certainly hope not. This would be a terrible thing if it really was. The monsters that come out at night, they really try to lure you in. They don't run. They don't chase you. They try to get into your mind. They lure you in, and then as soon as they can, they shift and they tear you apart. And so, I hope there's no real town like this anywhere on this planet. But it's a really suspenseful show. So it's listed as a horror show, and we have all the horror tropes. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of gore. There's a lot of scary, jump scare moments. But the core of the show are the people in the town. And that's really what I think audiences are going to enjoy. The people in the town are compelling and interesting. Like I said, I play the sheriff of the town, but I have a real past. I'm not the most likable guy you ever met, but I am going to keep everyone safe no matter what I have to do that, which makes him not always so likable. There are many other great characters in the show, and their relationships, how they deal with this trauma that they're living through, is really interesting. There are two parts of this town. One part is called The Town, and that's where I'm the sheriff, and there's another part called the Colony House, which is a little more hedonistic, a little more live for the moment kind of place. And so they don't have as many rules as we have down in the town, and we stay separated, but we do still all have to work together at some point, to make the town work. We have to farm together, and we have to figure out how to feed each other and build things for each other. So we kind of work together, but once the sun goes down, we separate and we live through the night the best way that we can.
And the program From on Epix, it's not a movie, it's actually a series. Do we know how many episodes there are in this?
There are multiple episodes. This first season is 10 episodes. I'm hoping it's going to be appointment television. They're not rolling them all out at one time. It will come on every Sunday for the next 10 weeks. And I think I'm hoping people show up and check it out, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a really fun ride. It's really well written. It's great acting, and the directing is great. The executive director and the producers are people I've worked with before on Lost, and they are amazing at their job. They know exactly, how to set the right tone to keep people on the edge of their seat and invested in the lives of these characters. It is a 10-episode series for this first season.
Again, it's called From. It's on Epix starting this Sunday. Harold, thank you for your time. We appreciate it a bunch, man.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Again, Harold Perrineau has been our guest today, and he's been on Oz, he's been on Lost, and now he's on a program called From. It's on Epix. It premieres this Sunday. I've got a link to the trailer. It looks pretty creepy. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
At bettercreditcards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at bettercreditcards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Despite the fact that it produces 95% of the world's supply of bourbon, the official state drink of Kentucky is milk.
Really?
Yeah, it's not bourbon.
I would have never guessed milk.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The average person walks the equivalent of twice around the world in their lifetime.
Okay.
That's a lot of walking. I bet her son does more than that. He loves to
He
walk.
loves to walk.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In Japan, it is common to put ketchup on rice.
Ew.
That does not sound good to me.
Ew.
And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There are no ants in Iceland, Greenland, or, believe it or not, no ants in Antarctica.
Really?
Not a single one.
Really?
I don't know. There might be one hiding somewhere with like a wool coat, but nobody's seen it. So there you go. A couple of fun facts for you. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
Now, RadioTravelGroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline, Italy. In Italy, a driver was banned from driving for a year after he was caught driving 70 miles per hour and shaving at the same time. What in the world? Now, here's the thing. It doesn't tell me. Was he using an electric razor? Was he using like, one of those big old brushes and you put the foam on and a straight razor? I kind of need to know how he was doing it for me to decide whether that was the right answer. I got to tell you, it's not a good idea to do any of them. But if it was an electric razor, that's a whole lot better. I could understand that a lot more than, straight razor or, just pulling out a Bic or whatever. Or what are those other ones? Harry's, any of those. But yeah, I think it's a bad idea to drive 70 miles an hour while shaving. So,
it's definitely a bad idea.
Terrible idea.
It's not kind of a bad idea.
It's a bad idea. That is presented by the all-new RadioTravelGroup.com.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. They'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Astronomers are watching the skies waiting for 2 cosmic giants to collide in a galaxy far, far away. Well, I don't know how far away. It's 1.2 billion light years from Earth. A pair of black holes could potentially be engaged in a gravitational tango, pulling closer to one another until they merge as one supermassive black hole. This could occur as soon as like 100 days or up to 3 years from now. What? So anywhere from 100 days from now up to 3 years. So they're saying there's a bit of a window. There's not a lot of science behind this science. If the iconic merger does take place, so they don't even know if it's gonna, it would be the first time astronomers witnessed an event of this kind, and it would provide significant clues as to how black holes grow to their supermassive size. So, I know a little less now than I knew before I told you this, but it was fun talking about it. That's Weird News. Brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. These make me smile. A career builder asked human resource managers to share some of the weirdest excuses for being late for work. So here's not any particular order. My lizard had to have emergency surgery in the morning and died during surgery, so I had to mourn.
Aww.
And I had to decide whether to have a lizard disposed of by the vet or bring the lizard corpse with me to work.
Jeez. Wow. That's very detailed.
There's a lot going on. Next, I thought of quitting today, then I decided not to, so I just came in late. Why were you late for work? My cow bit me. Okay. Next one. I was confused by the time change and unsure if it was spring forward or fall back. You don't know if it's spring or fall? Another reason for being late. A black bear entered my carport and decided to take a nap on the hood of my car. Wow. There was fresh powder on the hill. I just had to go skiing.
Yeah, that
Another
doesn't
reason for being
work.
late. I cut my fingernails too short. They were bleeding, so I had to go to the doctor. How? Did you cut all of them short? That is crazy that you just keep going. Anyway, and our final. I was walking my dog and slipped on my toad in my driveway and hurt my back.
On your toad.
A toad. There was
On a toad,
Yeah, I
not
don't know.
their toad.
Somebody's toad. There was a toad involved. That's all I know. It is The List, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Aloha! Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDVacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from GMDVacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at GMDVacations.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. The only thing that's... Oh, by the way, I should tell you who it's from. I usually do that. This is from Clary Belcher, also known as really Olivia Dukakis, but it was a character in Steel Magnolias. Remember Claire?
I do remember her. I actually loved that character.
The only thing that separates us from the animals is our ability to accessorize.
Yep.
That actually was a very, very fun character.
And it was a great movie.
You know what? It really was. And I heard somebody saying they wanted to remake that movie. I don't know that it needs to be remade.
I think that's a bad idea.
It was pretty perfect the way it was.
Yeah.
Again, it's called Steel Magnolias. For those of you who haven't seen it, you uncultured swine. Just kidding. No, I can understand. If you haven't seen it, it is a fun one to see, though. It's probably on one of the streaming things, wouldn't you think?
I would assume.
I have to look now. Now we got to watch that this weekend. All right, the quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of radiotravelgroup.com. That's right, the all-new radiotravelgroup.com. Here's a headline. Her dad passed away recently, so her favorite NFL player took her to the daddy-daughter dance.
I saw this online. It is so cute.
This is neat. It was shared to me. A couple of different people shared this, and I'm going to read this one right here. It says, Anthony Harris, the Philadelphia Eagles, traveled to Texas to escort a young fan to her daddy-daughter dance. 11-year-old Audrey Soap lost her father and grandfather last year and was feeling sad about this upcoming daddy-daughter dance at her church. It was in Texas. Audrey's mom, Holly, wanted to do something special for her daughter, so she reached out to their favorite NFL player, Anthony Harris, to ask if he'd be interested in taking Audrey to the dance. Much to her surprise, he said yes. How cool is that?
This was so
Dude,
sweet.
You are the best. It says, through the grace of God and amazing generosity of Anthony Harris Foundation, my girl got to be escorted by her favorite Philadelphia Eagles player, Anthony Harris. From start to finish, the evening was made magical, starting with him getting her the dress and the shoes of her dreams, Holly put on a Instagram post.
Wow.
He was so kind and so sweet and just made the entire night so special for her. Harris said Holly often reached out to him on social media to ask how her family could pray for him, asking if I need any prayers through transitions, he said. It was really just them opening their arms. I think that's really neat. Holly said the evening was a fairy tale, and the smile never left her daughter's face. You've got to cherish these moments, she said. You never know how long we have here on earth. The people you care about are the people you love and show support for them. I think that's really, really neat. There's a video, there's photos, the whole doggone story. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. How cool is that, Heidi?
That's so cool. I love it.
I do too. I think it's really, really neat. I've got a link to it, like I said, in the show notes for today. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.